Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Chris M. Walker. Today's video, I'm not going to lie, not the sexiest topic in the world. A lot of you that have been doing SEO for a long time are going to know most of what I'm going to talk about today, but I think it's still really, really important to understand the different terms and the different things that are out there. And what we're going to be talking about is different types of links. There's so many different things. I know a lot of beginners and even some veterans get these mixed up or get these confused or have just never heard of them. A lot of them in my SEO Academy have asked for different terms, and I decided to release this video on YouTube instead because I think it'll benefit everyone. And I'm also going to show you a pretty cool link package that I've been using lately that's been getting some good results. So without further ado, let's jump into the presentation and get started. All right, so the first type of link I want to talk about, and by the way, these are in no particular order. These aren't the order you should do them in or of importance or any kind of order other than what occurred to me as I was making this. So keep that in mind as we go through this. But the first type I'm going to talk about are what I call power links. Power links are, if you're old like me, you remember a video game called Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. It was a boxing game, and you had like three different types of punches. There was like a jab, a hook, and then your powerful punch was an uppercut. Now, your uppercut was your knockout punch that you landed after you'd hit it enough times with the other types of punches. And that's how I look at what I call power links. Power links are what you do once you've done everything else. So I guess this is some sort of order, kind of contradicting what I just said. But these are what you do after you've built everything else and you're ready to knock out that ranking and get your first page ranking. So hopefully that analogy makes sense for everyone. If not, I'm sorry. Okay, so the first type is PBNs. PBN stands for Private Blog Network. This is a site that used to exist as a regular business or blog or something like that, that for whatever reason, the person that owned it let it go. It's gone through a process and now it's available to be purchased at auction. And what you do is you set it back up as either the way it looked before or as a new blog. And the reason you do this is because all the links and other things that were coming into it, the domain age and so on, that gave it the power it originally had, still count. So what you can do then is build a site on it and then link out to other sites and give those sites power and in turn increased rankings. Some people don't like this, some people do. To me, it's a staple of SEO and something that if you don't do, you're limiting your SEO. But judge for yourself. The next type is guest post. Guest posts are different from PBNs in that the site that you're getting a post on is still a live, active site that people are, putting content on, blogging on, things like that. And what you do is either you ask for it and they give it to you for free, or you pay someone to put a post on this site and then link over to your site or whatever else it is you're going to rank. These are powerful because they have traffic coming to them and it's an active site. So it not only will it drive traffic to your site, but this site is going to rank, it's going to be more powerful because it's a live site with a lot of activity and things like that. So these are super powerful, and in a minute I'm going to show you a way to combine those into something that'll really, really pop your rankings. So, and then the final one, power link I like to talk about is a media mention. Now, I'm not sure if I'm using that term right, but essentially this is getting an article published on Forbes or Entrepreneur or Inc.com or something like that. A really, really powerful site with a biography about you or your business, something like that, that then links over to your business, your site, or whatever. These are really hard to get, and you either have to be important enough to actually get interviewed on one of these sites, you have to know a blogger that has an active account on one of these sites, or you can buy them in certain places, but they're really expensive if you do that. So if you can get these, they're gold. If not, they're not necessary. But that's pretty much all there is to say about that. Examples are, again, Forbes, Entrepreneur Inc., Huffington Post, and so on. Now, if you really want to leverage the PBNs and guest posts, what I'm finding works really well is to get a good guest post on a site that has some active traffic. Traffic is more important than anything on the guest post sites. And then hit that new post that you create with some PBN links. So basically, what you're doing is you're creating a new post on that site. That's great because it gets traffic and things like that, has a lot of authority. The downside is it's a brand new page and it's going to be an inner page most of the time, meaning not the home page. So the page itself isn't going to have a ton of authority. So what you can do is then hit the guest post with some PBN links, and you're passing all that power onto your site that way. And if you're worried about PBN links, you shouldn't be, but there is a slight problem there possibly, but that's a topic for another video. But then by doing this, you're insulating them from your money site. So I've been using a service that's our legit featured service of the week that's been getting amazing results. You can see some of the results he's gotten here. So I'll link to that. And it's not the point of this video, but I do want to make sure that you know about it. It's a really powerful service, getting you get great links, powerful results. Can't give it enough praise. So check out that link in the description. Go buy this package if you want to do some ranking, but let's get back to the presentation. The next type of link I want to talk about is a citation. Now, a citation, think of it as when you were in college or high school and you had to write a paper and you had to cite your sources. That's kind of what a citation is. A citation is somewhere else on the internet that lists the name, address, and telephone number and website of your website and links to it. This is particularly important for Google Maps ranking, but it's also useful for your organic ranking too, because these are really powerful sites. Now, these are going to be no-follow links. No-follow means that they don't pass on juice, but they will pass on relevance, and they are important to have, and they'll rank all on their own sometimes. Some examples of these are Yelp, Foursquare, and YP.com, but there's literally hundreds or thousands of those. So get those built if you have any kind of site. Even if it's like an affiliate site or something, you can just make up an address and use those, take advantage of those powerful links as well. But definitely get these right. Like, make sure you're consistent across all of them, because if you're trying to rank in Google Maps, that's really, really important for it. So that brings us to our next type of link, and that is Web 2.0 links. Now, a Web 2.0 it's usually a free website builder that allows you to create a website on their domain. So, for example, your regular site might be myawesomesite.com. A Web 2.0 version of that would be myawesomesite.wordpress.com. The advantage of that is you take advantage of the authority that site has, and it's free to build. The downside is that you don't get a custom URL. I mean, you do, but it has their URL in it as well, or their address in it, the URL as well. But these are really powerful, and they're an important part of an SEO campaign, especially if you're doing tiered linking. What that means is, like we just talked about, linking to another type of link to another type of link, and then you can pass power through them. So you could hit these with some PBN links and pass them on to your money site, or you can hit your PBN with these to make your PBN stay strong, that sort of thing. Some good examples of these are Tumblr, Blogspot, and Weebly, but there's literally hundreds or thousands of them out there. There are others like, there's WordPress.com. I'm drawing a blank. Those are the main ones I can think of, but just Google search best Web 2.0 links or something like that, and you'll find that. There's some great legit services for that too. So check those out. Those are really powerful. Incorporate those into your campaign. But again, a Web 2.0 is a website that you can build on somebody else's website. So something.tumblr.com, something.blogspot.com, something.weebly.com, something.jimdo.com, so on. So hopefully that makes sense. The next one is social profiles, or I should have just called this social links, because there's actually two different types of links here. These are links on social media sites. So there's two places you put these usually. There's the social profile link. So if you create a business page or even just a fan page, you can put a link on that fan page that says, this is my website, and link there. And then you can also put links in the posts on those sites. So suppose you create a Facebook page for your business, your ABC Plumbing Company, because we always have to use plumbing as an example. It's a rule in SEO. You can't do SEO without using that as an example. But seriously, you create that Facebook page, ABC Plumbing Company. You have a link on the sidebar that says, visit us at abcplumbingcompany.com. And then you can make posts on that page that are links also. These that link to abcplumbing.com/blog/contact/about us. Things like that. Those are social profiles and social links. There's again hundreds and thousands of different social sites out there, but the main three are Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And there's others like Pinterest, Google+. You could even count YouTube in that, although I kind of think of that as something else. These are ridiculously powerful and really important to have. Now, again, these are going to be no-follow links most of the time, but they get a ton of traffic, they have a ton of authority, and again, they're going to really help push your ranking and establish your website as a brand. So these are usually some of the first links I build when I do a new campaign, and these are definitely something you cannot afford to overlook. Some people will tell you only to do the basic 10 or 20. Some people will tell you to do 75. Some people that are well known in SEO will tell you to do several hundred. You're never going to do too many, so I'll leave it at that. One quick note on this. This is a huge pet peeve of mine, so I can't help but to bring it up. A social profile is not a social signal. A social signal is when you post something on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and so on, and it gets liked, shared, +1, retweeted, that sort of thing. The like, shares, and all that stuff, those are the social signals. That's telling Google that that particular link that you posted is getting talked about and they should look at it. So a social signal is not a social link or a social profile, no matter what anybody tells you. Sorry about that. That's just a huge pet peeve of mine, and we'll move on because I'll keep going. All right, next up we have social bookmarks. Social bookmarks are similar to social profiles, but a social bookmark is a site where you've found a site that you want to check out later and you save it to your bookmarks. So it's kind of like the bookmarks in your browser, but it's a place where you can go save them and check them out anywhere you go. These are good for helping get other types of links indexed. They help with your SEO, and they can be on a tier 2 or a tier 3. Some good examples of these are Instapaper, Digoo, and especially StumbleUpon, because StumbleUpon gets a ton of traffic. It's a really underestimated site. So these are good places to build them, but again, there's dozens or hundreds of these out there. Not as powerful as they once were. There was a time you could just create a new site, hit it with a few hundred of these, and instant number one. Not the case at all anymore, but they do still have their place and they do still have value. So incorporate those in your SEO campaign as well. The next type is profile links. Profile links are when you go sign up somewhere, and this is similar to social profiles, but there's a whole lot of other ones, so I want to make them a separate thing. Profile links are if you go sign up for a forum, or a rich media profile is like an Instagram, although Instagram could be considered social too. YouTube, Flickr, PhotoBucket, presentation sites like SlideShare, other video sites like Vimeo and Dailymotion, things like that. I call those rich media profiles. They usually give you a link in your profile that you can link over to your website. These help diversify the types of links that you use and so on. Another one that should say blog comments. Oh, no, I guess that's blog profiles. We're going to talk about blog comments in a second. Blog profiles is where you sign up to comment on someone's blog, and you get to create a profile and you put a link to your site or whatever in your profile. So forum profiles, blog profiles, rich media profiles, and any other site basically that allows you to create an account and have a link to your site. These are really helpful because it makes it look like, well, you actually should be a real person or business out there talking on forums, posting things, adding value to the world. So those are what profile links are. They're not the most important, but they are very helpful in diversifying your link types, which is really important to establishing yourself as a brand and business that Google is going to rank. So profile links. Finally, we have some miscellaneous link types that I didn't really know where else to include. These are things like blog comments, where you comment on someone's blog or on a news site or something like that. And you just, leave it an insightful comment or spam if that's the way you want to go, although obviously I don't recommend it. And you leave a link over to your website. Donation links are sites that, in exchange for making a donation to their charity or to whatever it is they're doing, a lot of times it's software, you get to leave a link on their site. These can be super powerful if you do your homework and find some good ones. And then infographic sites, I guess that's the same as rich media citations, but basically it's where you create an infographic and you share it to sites that are specific for infographics, and they link back to your infographic. So those can be really helpful. That's the main ones that I use. This is by no means exhaustive, but those are the main ones that I use in my campaigns. But maybe there's something I haven't thought of. Maybe I forgot some. Maybe there's something I've never heard of, and so on. So do me a favor, leave a comment below with your favorite link type. Tell me what I forgot. Tell me what I shouldn't have included. Let me know what you think. Hopefully that was a good video. Hopefully that clears things up for people. I know it wasn't the sexiest content. I know it went kind of long, but I think it's really valuable, and I think it'll help some of the newer people who are out there in the SEO community. So That's all I got for you. Do me a favor, follow me on Instagram for daily business, motivation, SEO tips, things like that. And subscribe to my YouTube channel that you're watching right now. Click the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified as soon as videos drop. Going forward, we're going to be putting out 4 videos a week. So this is the beginning of that. Enjoy it. I hope that you find it valuable. If there's something you'd like to see covered on the channel, leave that in the comments too. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.